Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Hawksness here, back with another Call of Duty mobile video. Now, in today's video, we'll actually be comparing the LK24 assault rifle and the BK57 assault rifle. This will be the first episode of a series I kind of want to start where I compare certain weapons and then kind of lead into what the best weapon is of the class. So, for example, obviously this video will be the LK24 versus the BK57, and then maybe the next episode will be the AK-117 versus the Type 25. And then whatever weapons I deem the best, maybe I could compare those. So if I say like the BK57 is the best in this video, and then I say the Type 25 is the best in the next video. By the way, those are just examples. Then maybe afterwards I could compare those two guns. The reason I'm doing it this way is because I used to measure a lot of very basic stats, and now I've gotten into a little bit more complex method into actually like giving you guys good information on the weapons. So before it was kind of easy. It wasn't really easy, but it was easy enough to compare all the guns in one video. But now it's a lot more difficult to actually do that while also giving you guys advice on how to properly use the guns. So I thought this would be kind of a good compromise in showing you guys all the weapons, because hopefully we'll cover all the weapons, but not doing it in one video and kind of spacing it out. And obviously each season has new changes to weapons, so like guns will get better, worse, things like that. So this will kind of be a good way to just provide you the most information on what the best gun is at the particular time. So at the time of this video being made, season 3 just began within the last few days, so we'll be looking at kind of the best AR, once again starting with the LK24 and the BK57. Reason I'm doing this also is because the BK57 has gotten a lot of hype lately, and I kind of want to just see, is this weapon actually really good or not, and can it hold up with the Type 25, the AK-117, all the popular assault rifles. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. The free-to-play version of the LK24 is unlocked at level 74, and the free-to-play version of the BK57, the BK57 Ancient Ruins, is unlocked at level 110. So now let's go ahead and look at the weapons recoils. Okay, so now what you're looking at is the recoil of the LK24 and the BK57. The gray recoil in the back is the weapons recoils without a grip, and the white recoils are with a grip attachment. If you are curious, this is 3 different recoil tests combined into one, so obviously the recoil won't look like this exactly, but this gives us an idea of what the range is for the recoil. And as you can tell, the LK24 has much less horizontal recoil, it's much tighter, but it does go a tad bit higher than the BK57. Whereas the BK57 has much more of a heart-shaped recoil, it's a lot wider and a lot shorter, and can kind of just go a little bit more all over the place. Now, if we look at the recoil pattern split up so that we can kind of see what each individual recoil pattern looks like, we kind of have the exact same idea. As you can tell, the LK24 is a little bit more vertical, it doesn't bounce side to side as much, whereas the BK57 just has a little bit more horizontal shake. After playing with both weapons, you can definitely feel this. The LK24 is a lot easier to control, whereas the BK57 can kind of bounce side to side a little bit more often, and it will definitely freak you out. I would say the BK57 absolutely needs a foregrip to perform at a high level, whereas the LK24, it's nice to have one, but it's not totally necessary, as it seems like the horizontal recoil is basically the same if you have a grip or don't. So if you're really good at controlling vertical recoil, a grip is not totally necessary. Once again, I think it is helpful for sure, but I don't think it's as necessary as it is on a BK57. Next up is the fire rate of the two weapons. The BK57 fires 10.975 rounds per second, or 659 rounds per minute, whereas the LK24 only fires 10.465 rounds per second, or 628 rounds per minute. The LK24 has a nearly identical fire rate to the M4 assault rifle, and the BK57 is just a tad bit higher. These fire rates are some of the highest of any assault rifles, so it's really good. It's not quite a Type 25 or an MSMC or an S36, but it's definitely some of the fastest in the game. Just to compare, the AK-117 fires a rounds per second of 12.76, and the Type 25 fires at 13.24 rounds per second. In terms of the damage profile, the LK24 will do 26 damage from 0 to 7 meters, and then from 8 to 16 meters it will deal 22 damage, and then from 17 to 39 it will deal 20 damage, and then at 40 meters or above it will deal 18 damage. In terms of the BK57, it only has 3 range tiers, and that is 0 to 8 meters, it will deal 27 damage, 9 to 37 meters, it will deal 22 damage, and then anywhere at 37 meters or above it will deal 19 damage. So as you can tell, in general, the BK57 will deal more damage. Now, if you're curious how this damage actually relates to the time that it'll take to kill somebody, let's go ahead and look at that. And I do want to note that these time to kills are on someone that is full HP. And this is because most of the time when you take a fight, it is against someone that is full HP. So we will be assuming that your opponent is full HP, and we'll go ahead and look at the time that it takes to kill them, basically. So now what you're looking at is the exact same chart, except now instead of damage, it will tell you the time that it takes to kill someone in milliseconds. So as you can tell, the BK57 is always faster than the LK24, except for one little range. At 38 to 40 meters, technically the LK24 will actually kill faster. But this is such a small range that it really doesn't matter. Overall, the BK57 will just kill people faster. And I also do want to note that this doesn't include headshots. We will be talking about headshots very soon. This just includes shots from the upper and lower body, not the head. And if you're curious, these guns have the exact same damage multipliers of normal damage anywhere below the neck, and then from the neck and above, which is headshots, it will deal a little bit more damage. In terms of how long it takes the gun to actually ADS, both guns have identical ADS times of 260 milliseconds with iron sights, and with sights or optics, it is a little bit longer at 233 milliseconds. In terms of the magazine size, this is actually the only AR that has a different magazine size, and that is the BK57 at a mag size of 35 and 43 with an extended mag, as opposed to the standard magazine size of the LK24 of 30 and 38 with an extended mag. Now, this is really good, obviously, with the BK57, but the downfall of it is that the reload speed is quite a bit slower, actually half a second slower on the BK57 as opposed to the LK24. The reload speed is 2.4 with the BK57 and 1.9 with the LK24. Although if you add a fast mag, you can speed it up a little bit with the BK57 and obviously the LK24. I do want to say that I do not ever recommend a extended mag on the BK57. 35 rounds on it is more than enough. If you are going to add a magazine attachment, I would recommend a fast mag. But even then, I wouldn't really recommend that. I think there are better attachments to take on this weapon, and we will talk about that later. In terms of the LK24, I think a extended mag is definitely viable. So obviously I was talking about headshots earlier. Now let's go ahead and talk about it just a tad more. Both assault rifles have a headshot multiplier of 1.2. This means that you will do 1.2 times damage when you hit someone's head. If you are shooting someone that is full HP, this will be useful for the LK24 at ranges of 8 to 16 meters and 40 plus meters. And when I say useful, I mean it will take less shots to actually kill someone. So for example, with the LK24, it takes 6 shots to kill someone at 40 meters if they're full HP. But if you hit headshots, you can reduce that to 5 shots, so you will kill them faster. And for the BK57, it is useful anywhere above 9 meters. So that is much easier to remember. It's like with the LK24, it's very difficult to be like, okay, am I in between 8 or 16 meters, blah blah blah. But the BK57 is a lot easier. It's from 9 to 37 and then 38 plus, so just anywhere above 9 meters the headshots are actually efficient with the BK57. If you're wondering how many headshots you actually need for it to be effective, you can see on your screen right now. So with the LK24, from 8 to 16 meters and then 40 and above, it takes 3 headshots to actually be useful to hit headshots. And then with the BK57, from 9 to 37 meters, it takes 3 headshots, and then 38 meters plus, it takes 2 headshots. So I actually do recommend going for headshots with the BK57. Obviously, the recoil is a little bit harder, so you want to make sure you're hitting shots before you start aiming for headshots. So my advice is to typically aim for the chest area so that as the gun kicks up, you'll maybe get a few headshots in here and there. Obviously, if you practice with this gun and master it, you can just laser the head all the time. But again, you're not going to be doing that initially, so typically I recommend aiming for the chest area so that you can get headshots in every once in a while, but you should be prioritizing just hitting shots over hitting headshots. Whereas the LK24 is like, it can be helpful, but most of the time it seems like it won't be, so there's no real point to just aim for the head all the time. It's going to be a lot more beneficial to just aim for the chest area and just be trying to hit that. Obviously, some headshots will come with that. I wouldn't necessarily aim for the head. In terms of movement speed, the LK24 and the BK57 are basically identical. Based on my measurements, the LK24 was a tad bit faster though, just a little bit. Now, in terms of another attachment, we have the suppressor, and I found no negative effects with the suppressor on the LK24's range. But for the BK57, the 0 to 8 meter range where you would deal 27 damage was reduced to 6 meters. So if you're playing at a little bit longer range with the BK57, a suppressor definitely could be useful, and I think it's plausible. But if you're playing a little bit more aggressive, I would not recommend it, as you're going to be dealing a lot less damage when you're getting within that 10 meter range. So that is it for the video. In conclusion, the LK24 is definitely a solid rifle, but in my opinion, the BK57 is the better of the two. When I say better, I mean it is a little bit harder to use, with the recoil being a tad bit worse, but basically everything else is better on the BK57. If you're able to hit your shots, the BK57 will be much more effective. especially if you're able to hit headshots. Whereas the LK24 is going to be a lot easier to use, but you won't be able to get as much out of it basically. So my recommendation is, if you're watching this video and you're not very confident in your aim and you're wondering what one is better, I'd say probably the LK24 is going to get you a little bit farther. But if you're watching this video and like, what am I going to use for ranked? What do I need against the pros? I would say the BK57 is a better option. In terms of classes, this is the class that I would use with the BK57. I do think a fast mag would work. You could replace a FMJ with a fast mag. I would say the sight and the grip are basically essential. The FMJ and the quick draw are kind of optional. Kind of depends on your play style, up to you. And then for the LK, I would say the pretty much all attachments are optional. It's a very easy to use gun, so any attachments will work with it basically. For a magazine, fast mag, extended mag really doesn't matter. The reload speed is already pretty fast for the LK, so it doesn't matter too much. And then the grip, I just personally use a grip like all the time on my ARs. So the winner of this for me personally is the BK57. Let me know what you guys think down below, and make sure to drop a like and a sub if you guys did enjoy. And before I go, I want to give a huge shout out to our channel members, especially our mega fans and above, which are Fort Chug Jug as a mega fan, Adobe Gaming as a mega fan, MGC Gaming as an elite fan, PUBG Master 327 as a mega fan, and then CBK Esports and Red Zero as ultimate fans. If you guys want to see how to join the channel and support me and get a lot of cool benefits, you can see how to on your screen right now. And with that being said, I will see you guys later. Peace.